Good afternoon, YouTube, and welcome back to Phatkat Collections. And today I'm excited to share with you guys another watch review. And today we're going to be showing you guys one by who? Guess who, guys? Any hints? Aragon. Right there. Alright, so let's talk a little bit about Aragon. I'm going to show you the watch, tell you a little bit about it, and then show you what it looks like on the wrist, which is the most important part of any of my watch reviews, is to actually show you guys what the watch looks like on a guy, my size, my height, and my weight, okay? So, just to keep your attention, the one they sent me here, I'm going to give you a quick sneak preview here. This is called, again, it's an Aragon, and they call it the Power Reserve Concept. Concept S Power Reserve LE, which is for limited edition. And it is a stunning looking watch. Very unique, very different. You know, I love anytime that somebody comes out with a watch that's not round. Let's face it, I mean, this thing has got its own shape, its own angles. Very interesting design. So let's talk about Aragon as a company. Aragon used to be under the Android name. They started off, I believe, advertising a lot on the home shopping networks, stuff like that. I discovered Android when it was under the Android name. My dad actually got one, and I was am into the Invictas, of course. And he showed it to me, and I was blown away at what you got for your money. I believe it was a quartz. It was a silver jet, and it was like $80. And I was amazed. So he ended up getting me one for my birthday. I believe it was my birthday. And ever since then, I've been following the brand as closely as I follow the Invicta brand. Now, Aragon had to change their name, of course. Like I said, they were Android, and I believe they had some sort of legality issue with using the name Android. I'm not really sure the logistics of it, but there was some kind of issue there, and they ended up changing the name to Aragon, which personally I like better. It gives them a little more brand recognition. When you Google Android watch, let's face it, everybody and their brother is making smartwatches now. So, and a lot of them are powered by the Android operating system. So, and then of course you got phones pop up. So it worked out for the best to actually have a new name, a different design. I love their new logo. It's just, they use the dragon here. I'll show you. I think it's a much better name and much better branding than Android ever was. So, so they basically make watches very similar to what Invicta does. They make these big dive-style watches, but they do have smaller ones in their lineup. They do have women's watches as well. If you haven't checked out their website, I definitely encourage you to check them out. And I love them because they give you a lot of watch for your money, and they have some really unique designs. For instance, back when they were under the Android name, they actually had a lot of watches that were plus 50 millimeter. And now they're kind of going with watches that are 50 and under. I think there's more of a market for that. They probably sell more watches. I don't know if everybody likes to have the big giant watches, but Invicta's doing something right. So I hope that Aragon continues to make some of the big over-the-top models. This is the biggest one they make right here. This is called the Gauge. This is a big, chunky, huge timepiece. If you haven't checked that out, I definitely encourage you to check that out. I have two of these. They're awesome. But everything else is about the 50 millimeter and under. So the one I want to share with you guys today. This is called the Concept Power Reserve, or Concept S Power Reserve. I'm not sure what the name means there, but the Power Reserve part of it is that it actually has a Power Reserve indicator on the face of the watch, which I'll show you in a second. And I love the fact that it's not round. It's pretty rare nowadays to find a watch with a very unique style. Let's face it, most watches are just round, and I love the fact that Aragon just really kind of pushes the envelope in some of their designs. One thing that kind of separates them from Invicta, and I've always said Invicta is one of the best values out there you can get. I think Aragon in a lot of cases is actually better because most of their watches are giving you Seiko or Miyota automatic movements. And anytime you get an automatic movement for the price point that they're offering their watches for, it really is amazing. Now this one here is a little bit on the higher end of what you're going to pay for an Aragon watch. However, this is a limited edition, so you're always going to pay a little more. Once they're gone, they're gone. And their reserves are starting to get a little bit low on these. I actually requested the rose gold, and they said we're a little bit low on stock on that, so we can give you the yellow. So yellow gold, you guys know I love yellow gold. So what I love about this watch is they have very small links. So they're very, very skinny, so you have a lot of them. So you have a lot of contrast in the way the watch bends around your wrist. I love the design of the case. Very unique. It's not square. It's not rectangular. It's its own thing. And I love what they've done to the crystal. It's actually a 3-step very chiseled crystal. You have an angle on each side of the case. Very unique to design something like that or manufacture something like that. All right, so again, back to Aragon. Great value, exceptional designs, and their designs, I will say, are in most cases a little more simple than you'll get with Invicta watches. Invicta watches, they definitely kind of push the envelope on the materials they're using, the way they're with the cable systems, all the things Invicta does is really quite amazing. But Aragon has more of a simplistic approach. Their watches aren't as involved and over the top, but they're amazing quality, they're big, they're flashy, and I've been happy with every watch I've ever gotten, whether it was under the Android name or the Aragon name. So let's talk a little bit about this watch. This one is powered by a Seiko S2 NE20 Power Reserve Day-Date automatic movement with 29 joules. I was surprised. I thought that this was, because it was a power indicator design, like this one here, like my gauge, it was going to be a Miyota movement, but it is actually a Seiko movement. And I just want to double check that, yeah, just on the, make sure it's, yeah, S2, Japan. Yeah, so it's the S2 NE20. Again, 29 joules, and the power indicator right here, your power reserve, there is a window, or a complication on here, if I'm saying that correctly, right here. And this tells you how much wind is left on your mainspring. So you can see here, it's pretty low because this just got shipped to me today. As you wear this more, that needle will actually go all the way up to the max power. You know you're gonna have the maximum power left in your watch. On this one here, done in all polished, mirror polished yellow gold plating, with of course red indices around the face and on all the dials, and you have that theme carried over to the crown with the Aragon logo, and a little bit of a red ring right around that screw down crown. Exhibition window on the back, you can see that Seiko movement, and again mirror polishing everywhere. As far as the complications on here, you do have your day of the week and again the power reserve indicator and your day of the month as well, looks like. So all right, so let's talk a little bit more about the size. 46 millimeter in case diameter. Although when I look at this thing, it looks a lot larger than 46. 17 millimeters in case thickness. And you can see that. See how they've chiseled that crystal? This is a K1 crystal. It's what Aragon uses, I believe, on all their watches. It's almost like a coffin or something. It's very, very, very unique design. I've never really seen anybody else making anything quite like that. And I love to see something like this because I don't really have a lot of square watches in my collection, and I surely don't have any square watches by Invicta, and none by Aragon either. So it's too bad I'm not going to keep this one because the price on it's a little much for me right now. I just bought a hot tub, so I can't keep every watch, guys, but I still have it to share with you guys. The only thing they did on this one here, I want to mention that every other Aragon watch I've ever had has a dual push-button deployment. This just uses your friction-based clasp, just like Invicta does, which is, I mean, it's not bad. I've never had an issue, but Aragon's always used this on their watches, which is your dual push-button deployment. So you have your lock, and then two buttons on the side where you push to actually unlock it. I just feel like it takes a better bite and there's less potential for wear, although I've never had any wear out. It's a personal thing. Let's take a look at the measurement on this here and see what it actually measures on the face itself. It doesn't have a bezel, but if we consider this the bezel. So yeah, about 46 millimeters in height and about 46 millimeters in width. So it's surprising because it doesn't really seem like a 46 millimeter watch. Like when I compare it to, just happen to have a Neymar here. This is your standard 44, and it's just a lot bigger. And I think it's just because of the design, how large the lugs are on it. It definitely doesn't really feel like a 46 millimeter watch. If I had to look at this and say, yeah, I would say that looks like a 50 millimeter watch. So it's very deceiving, that measurement. But 17 millimeters in case thickness once again. Again, K1 crystal on the top of this, of course. Bracelet measurement, 9 1/4 inches in length by 26 millimeters in width. It is a wide bracelet. It's one of the wider bracelets that Aragon puts on any of their watches. I don't know if it's the widest, but anytime you're over 24, it becomes quite large, which I love. I love a wide bracelet on a watch. And again, stainless steel, 11.3 ounces in weight, unsized. And they say the additional information, this is a K1 custom cut crystal lens. These are limited edition out of 100. So 100 each. Once they're gone, they are gone. And let's see which one they sent me here. This is number 77 of 100. So, you know, like I said, I won't be keeping this one. Price on this here, they kind of do what everybody does. You know, supply and demand. These are, because they're limited edition, you're always going to pay a little more for something like that. Just like Invicta does their Jason Taylors. A lot of times you'll pay a little more for anything that's limited. 100 units is not much for each color combination. So if you're a collector, you probably want to pick this up if it's within your means. Right now, the price on this here is $700 on their site. I have seen the price fluctuate on this. Always check back and forth depending on when you want to purchase it. I don't know when they're going to have sales or not. If you do want to make a purchase through me, of course, anytime I upload a video for Aragon, I have access to wholesale cost. I just can't undercut their price. So if you'd like to buy through me directly, I'm more than happy to have it directly drop shipped to you. Beautiful looking watch. And once again, is available in the stainless steel or, of course, the... damn, neighbor's taking that beater away. Thank God that car's gone. That thing lasted forever. Man, sorry. Just old Cadillac. Not the nice ones. So anyway, back to the watch. Screw down case back, which is not listed on there, but that is what it has. And that's about all they have. You know, Aragon's very limited on what they put on their website. There's never tons of information, but you know, what more information do they need? You know, I mean, that's the basics, really. So let's go ahead and throw it on the wrist. Let me just see what they have in stock, because... Alright, so the all-silver mirror polish is sold out. I failed to mention they have a black mirror polish as well. So all three of these ones, yellow gold, rose tone, or black, are available in the mirror polished. Mirror polished, and those are the color combinations you get. Sorry, that didn't come out right at all. Alright, so let's go ahead and check it out. Let me give you a couple more close-ups here of what it actually looks like here. See that exhibition back. And when I say screw down case back, naturally it's not round, so it's not screw down. It's actually got screws holding it down. Just what I love about this watch is all the different angles and the mirror polishing. It's just, it's always got some kind of reflection point on it. Very innovative watch, guys. All right, let's go ahead and throw it on the wrist. So I have about a 7-inch wrist. I'm about 5'7½", and don't forget the half. And I weigh about 165 pounds. Although I've been sick all week, so I'm probably down. I don't know. I've been out of work for the entire week, and today's the first day actually I'm feeling a little better. Kind of hit or miss lately, but nonetheless, out of bed today. So I am probably a little lighter than I normally am. I have not been eating much. So just keep that in mind. So naturally, you know, all these watches look big on a 6 to 7-inch wrist. I mean, that's you know, a lot of guys sometimes who are, you know, what I would consider the haters out there, who just don't like big watches, and they always, I think a lot of times they'll be negative on companies like this and Invicta, just because they're not really into the big watches, so they seem to think these watches look silly. But it's just a matter of opinion. I get nothing but compliments. Even if you're the kind of person who necessarily wouldn't wear this watch, I'm always getting compliments, and especially from the folks at work, they're always like, gosh, what do you got on today? Let me check that out. Oh, a little too big for me, or they'll be like, oh man, not big enough. Nonetheless, you know, it's a real attention getter, these watches. Had to go ahead and show you the Aragon shirt there. This will be my Aragon watch review shirt, folks. You'll never see me in anything else now. Nice wrist size there, wrist height, you know, 17 millimeters. Again, not as thick as something like the gauge, but still, anytime you're over 15 millimeters on case thickness, that's a pretty large case. You know, and I like this watch a lot because, you know, I've been wanting in my collection for a while now. It's just, you know, unfortunately, you know, this one won't be added. You know, I've always wanted a yellow gold watch with a red face, and I think that if they ever come out with this again, I think this would be a beautiful combination of having like that, you know, blood red or brandy wine face on yellow gold. I've been looking for a watch in yellow gold with that face for quite some time, and I just really haven't found one that I really like, but this would be an exceptional piece with that. And again, just to give you guys an idea, compare it to a standard size. This is just a Neymar watch I reviewed the other week, a Rolly homage watch, basically to a Submariner. I believe this one's about 44 millimeter. Let me double check that. Yeah, about 44 millimeters on this watch here. So this is what a standard size men's watch would be if you're not into anything that's oversized. And I'll just give you an idea of what they look like side by side. You can see the difference there. I mean, it really does dwarf. And you're like, oh, 44 to 46, but just like I said, the design of the watch is what really makes this thing over the top. Thick bracelet, man. Alright guys, well that's it. Thank you very much for watching the video. Tell me what you think of this watch. If you want to make a purchase, I'll put links in the description. Click like, subscribe, and comment. As always, have a wonderful day, guys. Take care.